Hi, welcome to Gimpy's Magic. Glad to have you here. I'd like to show you our newest prop. It's the mini Cuber Libre Bewildering Blocks combo set because you get two effects with one. You get the regular Cuber Libre routine with all the twists and turns, and you also get a streamlined version of the Bewildering Blocks. I'm going to demonstrate the Cuber Libre to you with the 4 blocks. You're going to start with a wooden tube. The wooden tube is used only to take one stack of the blocks out of view for just a moment so that the magic can happen. Now let me explain about these blocks. These blocks are just regular children's playing blocks with numbers on them. And it's important to say that there's a number just on one side, and the cubes only have 6 sides. Now, if you haven't seen the effect before, what the effect is that no matter how you stack these blocks over here, when you put the tube over the blocks, suddenly they change back to the perfect order. Very stunning effect, so I'm going to do it again. Restacking the blocks. Placing the tube on only for a moment, and let's see if we can get a perfect match. Now you might say, well, that is kind of odd, but what if you had to do something to this stack over here? What would happen then? And say, well, let's make it even worse. Let's turn some of these blocks around backwards, other way, sideways, and we'll just drop this one in like that. Would it still work? Let's see. And everything matches up once again. And at this point, you're probably saying to yourself, well, those things are turning around in there somehow. Somehow they're able to get flipped around in there or turned, or somehow they're changing how they get in there. But you can see they fit so tightly in there that they just barely have room to pass through. And there's no possible way that they can do that. That being said, let's go over here and let's turn some of these blocks around, making up a completely different combination. Now, would it still work? Let's take a look. And once again, everything matches. But what if we took this stack and turned it around like this? Would it still work? I don't know, remove it from view for a moment, give it a chance to figure it out, and once again, they've changed completely back into the proper order. Now you might say, well, that's neat. That might even be just a little bit amazing. But you've been stacking these blocks up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2, 1. What if you took the tube and you put, say, the 2 in first, then the 3, and then the 4, and then the 1? What would happen then? Remove the tube and everything still matches. And then you say, well, you've been stacking those all the way you wanted. What if you had a problem of an audience member jumping up and saying, hey, why don't you put them in such and such order? And I'd say, well, okay, come on up, because it doesn't matter what they pick. It'll always match up. So they come up and they say, well, I think I want a 1 on top of that. And I say, well, okay, I'll put a 4 over here so it doesn't match up. And they say, well, I want a 2. And I say, okay, we'll put you a 2 up there. I'll put a 1 over here so it makes sure it doesn't match. And they say, well, I want a 4 next. And I say, okay, well, we'll put a 4 over there. And I'll put a 3 over here so that doesn't match. And then they say, well, I've got a 3 left, so I'll put that there. And I'll put a 2 there so everything is different. We place the tube over and say, now we're going to see something might be magical. And everything matches. That's the Cuber Libre. Thank you for visiting us.